agenda. That is the approval of the proposed ordinance regulating the conduct of activities, programs, and festivities in the 51 barangays of Osamis City. In my table, Madam Chair, we have two additional resolutions to be take at this afternoon. And I move that these two resolutions. The first resolution is a resolution approving the mass blood donation by the Philippine Red Cross of Sabi City Chapter and Sangguniang Kabataan, Barangay Cavinti on 22nd August 2024 at the Barangay Cavinti, Capricorn, Barangay Cavinti of Sabi City. And the second resolution to be approved during this special session, the resolution approving the house-to-house visitation on 27 to 29 of August 2024, symposium and food drive on 30 August 2024, feeding program on 1st of September 2024, clean-up drive on 7th of September 2024, medical mission on 8th of September 2024, conducted on the civil military operation, competency enhancement training, CMO-CET students, civil military operations, battalion CMOPN, civil military operations, regiment CMOR, 1st Infantry Division, Philippine Army, in Barangay Aguado, San City. I move, Madam Chair, that these two resolutions will be included in our special session this afternoon. Aside from including the main reason of this special meeting, that is the approval of the proposed ordinance, Madam Chair.
So there's a manifestation from our Honorable Assistant Majority Leader, Honorable Attorney Lau, to insert two items in this order of business. Is there any comments or reactions? Hearing none, motion approved. Assistant Majority Leader, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before we approve the proposed ordinance that was the subject of public hearing yesterday afternoon, I would like to request our legal officer, Attorney Francisco, to point out the amendments and other changes on the proposed ordinance. After a thorough discussion, remarks, recommendation, comments during the said public hearing of the whole yesterday afternoon, Madam Chair, I would request Attorney Francisco to make to point out the amendments.
Attorney Francisco, you are acknowledged by the Chair.
Thank you, Your Honors, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. For the amendments regarding yesterday's public hearing, may I direct your attention to Section 3, Scope of Implementation. So in yesterday's public hearing, there were a couple of suggestions discussing the latitude of this scope. As previously read, allow me to read aloud the first draft. This ordinance shall apply to any activity, project, or program sought to be implemented by any of the 51 barangays of Osamis City in their respective jurisdictions. Hearing the comments of everyone yesterday, including Your Honors, I have amended this with the consent of the Office of the City Mayor, and that Section 3 will now read as, this ordinance shall apply to all activities, programs, or festivities initiated and organized by the barangay LGUs in their respective jurisdictions, and or those that will take place in barangay or city government public properties, regardless if the same is organized by a private entity. So yesterday's public hearing, many of the people were worried because of the latitude of all activities. So with this amendment, we are now limiting this ordinance to the activities, programs, and festivities initiated and organized by the barangay LGUs. So mandates from executive orders like the PAHINA, as well as those coming from the DILG, the road widening cleanup, which can be done at any time without notice. These are now outside the ambit of this ordinance. So this ordinance will now solely focus on activities, programs, and festivities initiated by the barangay LGUs. So the barangay LGU is the one who is the first person to think of this idea. However, the second sentence of Section 3, and or those that will take place in barangay or city government public properties, regardless if the same is organized by a private entity. If we may recall, yesterday we have taken out Section 4B regarding regarding the participation of these public entities. However, we have decided to retain the same in Section 3 on the qualification that qualified by should these private entities make use of barangay or city LGU public properties. So if the public entity will be using, if the private entity will be using public properties, then they will have to undergo the same requirements as that of the barangay LGU.
Yes, attorney. Nanawid daw may pangutana ni attorney kay best example ani is AOTC, Asenso Osamis Tennis Club. Ang Asenso Osamis Tennis Club, ang korte is inside sa DPWH compound. So, sila, every day sila nagadula Monday to Sunday. So, sa may ilang angay buhaton na ni attorney, asa man sila kay tungod everyday mo din sila from Monday to Sunday ang ilang dula. Then, Friday, kuwan na sila.
Private
organization.
Madam Chair, and
Yes.
then making use of public
Public properties.
I think they will now fall under Section 5, the second paragraph, where, or Section 4, the new addendum, that the Office of the City Mayor has the authority to issue permits notwithstanding the absence of a request from the barangay captain in favor of activities covered by this ordinance. So even without an endorsement from the barangay captain, as long as the same was forced to the Office of the City Mayor and the City Mayor feels that the same does not prejudice or jeopardize public safety, peace and order, the same can be given in permit.
Thank you for
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is just a query concerning that DPW
Engage compound.
compound. Is that owned by the local or by the national? So, do you think, attorney, it covers under this ordinance when the property is owned by the national?
My apologies, Madam Chair. I thought DPWH was covered by the local. If it's national owned, then that's outside the ambit of this ordinance. So only those owned by the barangay or the city LGU. So, for example, as one of the private members, stakeholders yesterday, she was holding a Zumba class in the wellness park. That's why it necessitates her to secure a permit because she is using the wellness park for her activity.
So, if it's national property, no need to ask.
Saan ang tanaw sa compound? National property?
National, DPWH
Di ba previously muna sa city as
City
a
engineers
city.
report.
So, ang property national yan siya?
Yes.
So, if it's national, it's not covered under this ordinance. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes. You may proceed. You may proceed.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Then, the second amendment falls under Section 4. So, if I may read the old provision. The old provision says, the following requirements shall be observed prior to the implementation of any activity, program, or festivity in any of the 51 barangays in Osamis City. So, because of the amendment in Section 3, we have now renamed this as the following requirement shall be observed prior to the implementation of any activities, programs, or festivities initiated and organized by the barangay LGUs and or those that will take place in barangay or city government public properties. So in essence, we just took the scope of implementation and then added it to the first paragraph of section 4. We also added the proviso that provided that the office of the city mayor has the authority to issue permits, notwithstanding the absence of a request from the barangay captain in favor of activities covered by this ordinance. Now, the wisdom of this particular section is when private entities would want to go directly to the office of the city mayor to secure the permit. So, even without the endorsement from the barangay captain, if the office of the city mayor feels that such activity warrants the giving of the permit, then the same may be given despite the barangay captain's non-endorsement. But all the same, Madam Chair, after, for example, nagdaan ng permit si private person, we will be contacting the office of the city mayor will be contacting the barangay captain as well to inform them of the giving of the permit. Just so we have, baka ma-feel the barangay captain na we have jumped over them.
Okay, thank you for that information. You may proceed, Attorney.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And then on section 6, the penal clause. So yesterday, the barangay captains were concerned about this penal clause because it could be that they did not really know of such activity in their absence. Some of their constituents would host an activity just to endanger the barangay captain. So we added this specific phrase. Any violation of section 4 or section 5 will hold the punong barangay or the officer in charge as the case may be. So this is just to secure the barangay captains that should there be any unsanctioned or unlawful activities that will happen in their jurisdictions, they will not automatically be held liable. So what if it's their officer in charge who agreed upon the unsanctioned activity? So it's going to be the officer in charge who will answer for the violation of this ordinance. On the final paragraph, this was from a comment from our private stakeholders yesterday. The old provision will read as, the penalty of fine shall be imposed on all identified participants of the event. However, we recognize their concern, stating, if I may quote the private sector directly, there will now be no viewer in good faith. What if, for example, a bystander just happened to pass by, saw that there was commotion, and then entered the gymnasium not knowing that such activity was actually unsanctioned or unlawful? So, basin mapailan kung sila ang appeal. That would be, to our eyes, unjust. So that's why we added the provision. The penalty of fine shall be imposed on all identified participants of the event who will continue to participate in the activity or refuse to leave despite notice that it is unsanctioned and unlawful. So what does this mean? So whenever our local police force, for example, will have noticed that in some specific barangay an unsanctioned or an unlawful activity is being undertaken, the police force will go over there immediately. So dili mo arrest si local police force diretso. They will inform first everyone in the building that this activity is actually unsanctioned and unlawful, and then you must stop, disperse, and go home. Those that refuse to stop and go home, diha na din sila makanuhan ng fine. So there will be assertions from our local police force saying na unsanctioned and unlawful siya, pamauli ng makanan. So only then, if they refuse to do so, will they be awarded will they be met at the penalty fine. And then those are the changes that we've made from the comments taken yesterday, Madam Chair. Your Honors, thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
we have.
Yes, very
Okay,
good.
Madam Chair. I will direct my question to our legal officer. Concerning section 10,
Effectivity clause. This ordinance shall take effect immediately upon the approval. But since this ordinance carries penalty as imprisonment or fine and fine upon the discretion of the court, and per DLG opinion number 160-1993, publication and ordinance with penal sanctions takes effect after the same or its guest has been published. The whole ordinance need not be published, but the same must be transmitted to the chief executive officers of the official gazette who has the option to publish the same or not. So, I would like to know your opinion concerning this one. Concerning that this proposed ordinance carries with penalties.
Yes, Attorney or
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Your Honor. We recognize that the effectivity clause specifies that the ordinance shall take effect immediately upon its approval. This effectivity clause generally is the backbone of when you the penalty is no person ignorance of the law excuses no one. But before that provision will be carried on, there has to be notice of the law to everyone. That's why there is publication. However, it is of my opinion that because there was a public hearing conducted yesterday, and because the same penal clause is specific only to the barangay captains, I believe that carries within sufficient notice for the penal clause to be implemented immediately. Because we're not going to penalize specific individuals with a fine of imprisonment. So, because the barangay kagawans were already notified of the accompanying penal clause of this ordinance, I believe that it is already sufficient notice. However, the Honorable Councilor is correct that we still need to undergo the process of publication. So, we can do with Section 10, the ordinance shall take effect immediately upon its approval, subject to the council's approval that I may add and the publication of the same.
okay. So, by the attorney, after the publication, discern mo take place ang cut-off penalty niya.
Immediately upon its approval and its publication. So it's going to take effect immediately and then simultaneous with its publication.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Madam Chair.
So, okay. You have anything further?
Is there any reactions?
Because we have to approve this ordinance, considering the importance. So we have to approve this ordinance, considering that this ordinance is proposed ordinance is being prioritized by our LGU. Considering the importance of the safety and the peace and order every time the barangay will hold or conduct any activities or facilities. So I move to adopt the committee report regarding this proposed ordinance, an ordinance regulating the conduct of activities, programs, and festivities in the 51 barangays of San City. After the public hearing conducted yesterday afternoon with the barangay officials and civic organization who participated and were invited and participated in the said public hearing.
There's a motion from Honorable Lau to adopt or you move this for second and final reading.
Yes, Your Madam Chair, I move for the approval, adoption and adoption and approval of the committee reports based on the public hearing for the first reading. Or first approval, hearing. No, pass the first reading, sorry. Adoption of the report. I'll move for the second and final, Madam Chair.
So there's a manifestation from our Assistant Majority Leader to adopt this
Committee reports.
committee
Reports.
reports and
Based on the public hearing.
committee report based on the public hearing yesterday, and to and for the approval of the second and final reading of this ordinance, an ordinance regulating the conduct of activities, programs, and festivities in the 51 barangay of Osami City. So, is there any comments or reaction for the passing of our for the second and final reading? Yes, Honorable Suiso.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I have no objection of the passing and approval of this ordinance, Madam Chair. Since we already had the public hearing yesterday, and most of the especially noted provisions that were added, considering all the suggestions from yesterday's public hearing, and we think that for their consideration, maybe we could also give them a copy for the newly added provisions, especially on the matters including sections 4 and as well as the scope of the implementation. Because I think the barangay chairmen or the representatives yesterday, they had the idea that everything should be coming from them, the endorsement, but there's a provision there that there could be a time that directly they could also have the permit from the city mayor's office. So I think if they could produce this for the referrals and also brief them of the additional provisions, and then I think everything will be going smoothly. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Suiso, for your suggestion. So, is there any suggestion or comments?
Actually, Madam Chair, actually we have just passed this ordinance. So once it's approved and duly signed by our Vice Mayor, the acting City Mayor, and after the publication, we can provide copies to
51
to
barangay captains.
the chair of the committee on barangay affairs. So it will be his responsibility. He will be responsible to disseminate this information to the 51 barangays on the chair. If I was not mistaken, they have monthly meeting, the ABC. So probably that time he can present the ordinance, approved ordinance, Madam Chair.
So, is there any suggestion? Hearing none, motion approved. Assistant Majority Leader, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We'll proceed to the two inclusion of the resolution. The first resolution, a resolution approving the mascot donation by the Philippine Red Cross of Chapter ng Sangguniang Kabataan for Barangay Cavite on 22nd August of 2024 at the Barangay Cavite, Caberco, Barangay Cavite, Osami City. I would refer this resolution, Madam Chair, to the Chair Committee on Health, Councilor Calcati.
Honorable Catherine, you are hereby acknowledged by the Chair for your motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to pass a resolution, joint motion approving the mass blood donation by the Philippine Red Cross Osami City Chapter and Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Cavite on 22 August 2024 at the Barangay Cavite, Madam Chair. Due to its urgency and public interest, I would like to pass this resolution for second and final reading waiving the internal rules.
The Honorable Lim is passing this resolution for second and final reading, waiving the internal rules. Is there any comments? Hearing none, motion approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our second resolution for this afternoon special session, a resolution approving the house-to-house visitation on 27 to 29 of August 2024, symposium and co-drive on 30 August 2024, feeding program on September 1 of 2024, clean-up drive on September 7 of 2024, and medical mission on September 8, 2024, conducted by the Civil Military Operation Competency Enhancement Training, CMOCED students, Civil Military Operations Battalion CMOB, and Civil Military Operation Regiment CMOR, and the 1st Infantry Division, Philippine Army in Barangay Aguado, Osamis. I would refer this resolution, Madam Chair, to the Chair of Committee on Health, Councilor Tantatin, for appropriate action, Madam Chair.
Honorable Lim, you are hereby recognized by the Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to pass a resolution joint motion approving the house visitation on 27 to 29 August 2024, symposium information drive on 30 August 2024, feeding program on 1st of September 2024, cleanup drive on 7 September 2024, and medical mission on 8 of September 2024, conducted by the Civil Military Operation Competency Enhancement Training, CMOCET students, Civil Military Operations Battalion, Civil Military Operations Regiment, and 1st Infantry Division, Philippine Army in Barangay Aguada, Osamis City, for first reading with reservation.
So there's a manifestation from Honorable Lim to pass this for first reading with reservation. A resolution approving the house-to-house visitation on August 27 to 29, 2024 symposium, info drive on August 30, 2024, feeding program on September 1, 2024, clean-up drive on September 7, 2024, and medical mission on September 8, 2024, conducted by the Civil Military Operation Competency Enhancement Training students, the Civil Military Operations Battalion, the Civil Military Operation Regiment, 1st Infantry Division, Philippine Army in Barangay Aguada, Osamis City. Motion approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Since these activities are for the public wellness and interest, I would like to pass this resolution for second and final reading waiving the internal rules.
The Honorable Lim is passing this for second and final reading, waiving the internal rules. Is there any comments or reactions? Hearing none, motion approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before I adjourn this special meeting, is there any announcement, concern, whatever?
Happy long weekend.
If there's no comments or announcement, I move for adjournment of this special session.
Special